Traffic is expected to peak on major roads as people travel to various destinations for the Christmas holidays. Many companies are also expected to close for the year. SABC News reporters are at various travel hubs across the country, bringing you the latest. Deputy Transport Minister Mkhuleko Mhlengwa has been interacting with road users at the Grasmere Toll Plaza in southern Johannesburg. Traffic volumes on the N1 are expected to increase going into the weekend as holidaymakers travel for festive holidays. Motorists have been urged to abide by the rules of the road to arrive safely at their destinations. Well, for those who are using public transport out of Gauteng, Park Station is usually their point of departure. SABC News anchor Ayanda Nyathi is standing by for us at Park Station in the heart of Johannesburg in the CBD. A very good afternoon to you, Ayanda. What's happening there? Is it bustling?
It certainly is, I can tell you, Nompu, and in fact a lot of people here have been eagerly waiting to get to where they need to be. Typically what would happen, by the way, is they'd have to use the escalator that I'm going to attempt going down for you as I get you a sense of what we've seen take place here so far. It's been a hive of activity since very early this morning. In fact, we're told that up to 300,000 people pass through some of these terminals in order to use the different modes of transport that are available here. And of course, if you're familiar with the Park Station, we know it's very popular for the buses typically that are here, the trains, and in fact the taxis as well. And in fact, what we're showing you now are some of the bus terminals that are closer to where we're stationed. That's where many people typically get involved with inter-provincial travel, as it were. And this has really been the state of affairs since very early this morning. In fact, we're seeing one of the terminals there, people queuing, which is a very clear sign that the bus that they may be taking may take off at any moment now. In fact, I can see from where I'm standing, it's a bus to Kimberley. And so this is typically the kind of place where they'd converge. Earlier on, we also spoke to some officials who've been able to tell us that a big part of their focus is ensuring that there is safe travel at the very least. And this will be important, of course, especially in the wake of the numbers we got from the Gauteng, from the Transport Department, that there's been an uptick ever so slightly of the death toll. Now upwards of 570 people have sadly died since the start of the festive season. Really just eye-watering figures, especially when you consider that there are still about 2 weeks to go until we finally get a sense of where we stand insofar as the total tally is concerned. We're walking through some of the terminals now to get you a sense of essentially what happens from the queue that you're able to see initially right into where the Intercape customers, it appears, are likely to go. And we've been guided through by some of the officials who work here who've been very kind to take us through our paces, as it were, as we try and capture as many different aspects of the traveling that takes place. Now, you'll of course know that people who leave the province typically do so with a lot of luggage, and we can see there is an extra trailer put specifically on this particular bus, and this is clearly the standard. Once your luggage is in, your ticket is being checked, and once you're good to go, essentially you're able to finally get entry into one of these buses, which is stationed here. I wonder if we can go in. Perhaps we'll get you a sense of what it's looking like. Of course, a few people who are on their way. It's a double-decker bus, I think that's the term we use, and we can walk in here. Sanbonani, I know we're barging in as you prepare to take off. You'll excuse us as we broadcast on the SABC. And this is typically, I suppose, the kind of setup that you would get for many people. Clear ventilation, by the way. There are aircon vents going off as we are prepared to go, and I imagine for a lot of people here, they're hoping that this will be a safe journey for them as they head to their destination. But it doesn't end here, of course. It's not only the buses, as I mentioned, there are trains on the go, and of course a couple of taxis a stone throw from where we're currently standing. All of this, of course, with the hopes that people will be able to get around and make it home in time for Christmas, which is literally in what? 5 days? Hard to imagine how time flies when you're having fun.
Thanks very much for literally navigating us through Park Station. My colleague there, Ayanda Nyathi.